Hello, what about you? I'm Andy, and recently I've been doing a wee bit of sculpting, so I thought I would do a short video on sculpting a tiki head. But first, some announcements. I've finally set an end date for the Community Mac Challenge. It's the 15th of May, that's Sunday the 15th of May. So if you want to get your pics on Instagram, use the hashtag Community Mac Challenge, and I'll be picking some winners and giving away some of these ugly heads. So you've still got a wee bit of time if you want to get involved. And what's next? Twitch. Yes, I've started streaming on Twitch. So I'm gonna try and grow that channel over there and maybe move my live streams over to Twitch. So if you want to check that out, the link there will be in the description below. And then finally, Discord. I've opened a Discord server. Is that what you call it? A Discord anyway. So yeah, it's been running a few weeks now. Yeah, and I had never used it before, and it's going well so far. If you want to check that out, the links there in the description. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll just do a quick sketch here first, just so you can see what I'm aiming for. It's not exactly a traditional tiki head. It's more of an ugly head version, but you can sort of see what I'm going for. And that's the thing about these, they're not really anatomically correct. So once you get the sort of general layout of the face down, it's not too bad. It is a fairly easy sculpt, and I'm going to be aiming for something about that size. So yeah, something like that. And here's one I prepared earlier, just with some panel lines. I was just messing about with panel lines, so that's what I'm going to be aiming for. Some other examples here, these are just ones I've been messing about with on the stream kind of thing at the weekends, and I'm going to be giving some of these guys away as prizes for the Community Mac Challenge. So still a wee bit of time if you want to get involved. Check it out on Instagram, hashtag Community Mac Challenge. But yeah, just some different examples. So I'll get the Sculpey out here and get started. This is just a mixture of the regular Sculpey mixed with some of the Sculpey firm. I'll need some tin foil. I'll just get this sort of crushed down into roughly the shape that I need it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does help if it's close to what you're aiming for. Obviously slightly smaller because you're going to be covering it in clay. But yeah, something like that. And then I've just got a wee bit of clay rolled out here. I just used my pasta machine. You could use a rolling pin too. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm just going to get a layer on here to get started and just get it smoothed out and just make sure there's no air bubbles trapped underneath it. And I'll just use the handle of one of my sculpting tools here just to get it nice and flat. Just get that extra bit put out of the way. And yeah, I'm pretty much here choosing sort of which side I'm going to have facing forward. It doesn't really matter that much, but I sort of try to get it so it's leaning backwards a wee bit, so he's sort of be facing upwards when he's finished. But it's nothing that you can't fix later on down the line. So I've rolled out another bit of clay here. I've just got to cut the length, and I'm gonna just thicken up his front facing side, just to give me a wee bit of extra depth to push those details into. And then blending's just the same. Just use my fingers and my thumb and maybe the handle of my sculpting tool just to get it all blended in. And it'll kind of roughly start shaping the front. I kind of want it pointed a wee bit at the front, just on the forehead, and then flatten it out again where the nose and the mouth would start. But again, it's not really that important, to be honest. It really does depend what end look you're going for. I'll sort of show you in the examples later on. But yeah, just a rough shape really. Sometimes the odder the shape that you start with, the better. But yeah, I've just got a wee pin here. This is just a pin that I've put in some polymorph plastic for a handle, and I'm just going to use it to draw out some of my features. And I'm pretty much just drawing them out the same way that were drew out on the paper. Just eyes, nose, and a mouth. I don't really need to draw the nose out because I was sticking it on, but I'll start here with getting the eyes. I'm not really happy with that second one. So I'll just draw the eyes out first. And then I'll take a soft rubber wedge tool. I've got this one, or I've got another softer one here. I'll maybe use this one. But yeah, it's just a soft wedge. and I'll just use that to push that detail out, just make it a wee bit deeper, and try to round the edges of the eye kind of thing. And I'll just do it in stages, you know. I won't get it all on the first go. I'll just keep going around and refining and getting that sort of eyeball rounded kind of thing, and getting it into the shape that I wanted. But and again, for this, sort of the weirder the shape of the eye, the better. Sometimes it can really get some interesting eyeballs. But yeah, he looks a wee bit like this guy. So yeah, I've got the first eye pretty much laid out. So I'll just get the second one done here quickly, and then I can move on just to sort of getting a wee bit more details around the eyes. You can sort of put in the eyes around, or the bones around the eye, or some cheekbones, or just leave it the way it is. You know, it is fine the way it is. But I'm gonna push it a wee bit more just and put in some sort of cheekbones, and just sort of refine the features a wee bit. And I'll use sort of combination of my sculpting tools and my fingers and my thumb. But I do find that the more I've been working with this now, it does get a bit smooshy sort of thing where you're holding it. So it's good sort of every now and again just to put it down and let it sort of cool down again and solidify it. Stops it sort of sliding around as much. So I'll just refine the shape a wee bit more using my sculpting tools. And I'll just put a few lines and stuff around the eyes just to sort of highlight them a wee bit and make it look a wee bit flashy. I'm not going to go for a wood look. You could put wood grain on it if you wanted to, sort of score the wood grain in. But I think that's the eyes pretty good for now. I can move on now and get the nose done. So I'll just take a wee bit of clay and kind of squish it into like a wee wedge shape, and an approximation of a nose anyway. And just refine that as best I can between my fingers sort of thing. And then get that stuck on. But with the noses, I like to give them a sort of overly big nose. You could do a smaller nose, like, or even just do the nostril holes. I'll show you later on when I'm putting the nostrils on. You can just do those on their own, and it can look quite good. So yeah, really, you are open to do whatever you want. Really, you're not held back with anatomy kind of thing. And yeah, then I'll just go back with my sculpting tools and blend in that edge, and just get all those edges nice and blended in. And that's looking good. And I'll just get a couple of wee balls of clay rolled out here for my nostrils and get those stuck on. And same again, I'll just get those stuck on either side, and then go around with my sculpting tools and get them blended in. And then it's on to my favourite part, poking the nostril holes. I always get a kick out of doing that, and the bigger the better in my opinion. So that's sort of half blended in. I'll just go back now with my sculpting tools and get them blended in properly kind of thing. I've got this soft wedge. It's like a soft silicone wedge. It's really good for smoothing out after you've blended kind of thing, getting it all smoothed out again. So nose holes. Just basically take my small ball stylus and get the holes started. And I'm kind of pushing into the face. I'm not pushing up kind of thing. But yeah, it's really simple to do. It really is. The clay, as long as you work with the clay and don't sort of over force it, just slowly work them out sort of thing, you can get some pretty good nostril holes. And to me it makes for a pretty wacky, sort of tiki, ugly guy. But yeah, then I just take my needle tool, my small one, not that one, the small one. And I'll just go around and do some lines and refine those features a wee bit. And at this stage, he's pretty much good to go. He could leave the eyes and the nose there, but I'll go back and just refine it a wee bit more and put some wrinkles in and some lines and stuff and some crow's feet. So that was just sort of setting it down there for a while to let him cool down so it doesn't slide around so much. And then I'll just go back and just refine those details a wee bit more. And I'll maybe get my mouth marked out here first, and just roughly where my mouth's gonna go. And then take my silicone wedge again and just press it out exactly the same way as I did the eyes. It's just exactly the same, pressing out that shape and then going right on my tools again and just constantly refining. It's sort of a mixture between constantly refining the shape and fixing bits that you've already done. You have to sort of go back on yourself an awful lot. Unless you want to sort of do a wee bit and then bake it, but you sort of risk of baking details in that you don't really want. So yeah, that's it. The teeth pretty much ready to go. I'll just fix his nose a wee bit here, put in a few more wrinkles before I move on. And again, this wee silicone tool is great. It's great just for smoothing out. So I'll take my wee knife tool and just start cutting in the teeth, and it really is just a matter of cutting them in and getting them all separated. And once you get them separated, I sort of treat them individually and just sort of sculpt them all individually. And yeah, wee bit of patience, and it's not too bad. It really doesn't take too much skill. So that's the teeth pretty much done. And there is another way you can do it. Instead of sculpting the teeth in, you could take the mouth as far as this guy and bake him. This guy's already baked. So either or, and then it means afterwards you can either sculpt the teeth in after, or I'll show you a way you can pre-bake the teeth sort of thing and just push them in. So a wee bit more refining work just with some of my sculpting tools, a few more lines and wrinkles and stuff, and just make those features stand out a wee bit more. And like I said, I could put like a wood grain in, or put some of those panel lines in and some rivet holes. But for this guy, I'll just keep him plain. I think that's him good for the oven now. And then I can show you this guy, just how I put the teeth into this guy. So I'll just get cleared up here and get a snake of clay rolled out. Basically, I'll just roll out a snake of clay and then push it up in where his gums would be. The clay is pretty much acting like his gums. So I'll get this pushed into the top. Oh, first I need to put in a wee bit of my liquid Sculpey. It just helps it stick. It's not necessary, but just in case, I have it there, so I might as well use it. And yeah, I'll just push this in to his top lip, and that'll be his top gum. Yeah, I know. And then I'll use my silicone tools again, just to sort of squeeze it in and refine the shape a wee bit. And that's the top portion done. And just same again on the bottom, except I'll make the bottom just slightly thinner. And that's the gums ready to go. What I could do is just sculpt the teeth directly into that. But what I'm gonna do is cut some teeth, and I'll just cut up a few wee wedges here, and then shape them into the loose shape of a tooth. Not too big, I don't want them too big, but this can be a wee bit fiddly, but something like that. And I'll just sculpt a load of those, all different sizes, and then use my blowtorch to harden them. Something like that. And they're cracker wee teeth. And yeah, just my blowtorch, and I put them on a coffee can just so I wasn't burning whatever they were sitting on. But yeah, make pretty good teeth, and burnt them a wee bit, but I always tend to do that. Pretty much everything I've made so far has been burnt one way or another. But as long as it doesn't damage it, I don't mind. So yeah, I'm just going to pick different sizes of these. I've kind of laid them out in the size I think I need them, but if I need to cut them a wee bit, which I do, I'll trim them a wee bit and just push them in, and it really is simple enough. I do go back afterwards with my silicone tool and just kind of refine the edges a wee bit, but other than that, it's just really pushing the teeth into the gums. And it is a wee bit more time consuming than sculpting them in. You do have to spend a wee bit of time, because sometimes you'll find when you get 3 or 4 in and then you push another one in, it moves the ones that you've just done. But no, I think this was worth it. This guy's definitely looking good. So yeah, he's ready for the oven. So that's these guys baked up. I'm not going to take them any further in this video. They still do need a wee bit of work on the base there, and some of them on the top, and maybe a wee bit of details. But you can see I've got a load already done, and you really can't go mad with it, honestly, with as little or as much detail as you want. I mean, you can see this guy. I really love this guy. So yeah, if you fancy me doing some more sculpting videos, certainly let me know in the comments. I really have enjoyed getting back into sculpting, and for now, yeah, back to me in the studio. So there you have it. I hope this was at least a wee bit helpful. And if you've any questions or comments, you just know where to go there, down below, work away. And a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters, and thank you for all the support and help in making these videos possible. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!